I think I should probably mute it. Let me see if I can mute it right now. We're going to talk about this chronic fatigue because people keep asking me. So we're going to talk about it. Okay. Whew. Now, I'm exhausted right now. Sometimes, like, today's the hottest day of the year. It's 109. That's the actual temperature, and the heat index, I think, is like 1 freaking 15 here in Texas. I was like, I have to pack. What's up? Repping the Time Fitness. I have to pack, and my stuff's outside, and I bought a bunch of containers at Home Depot, and I was like, and I had to power wash because they have all the equipment there, right? My RV camper, because it was just caked of dirt and splatter from mud, and I was like, no, we want this clean. I won't have a power washer at my new place, so I decided to do it all today. So I have a bit of a headache right now. It's like I couldn't keep up with the drinking of the water to how much I was sweating. Get some water. Now, a lot of you guys, like my situation, I went and I was putting little tiny dashes of salt in my water to avoid exacerbated full stop chronic fatigue. What's up, Barrett? And people don't realize a part of their chronic fatigue is an electrolyte imbalance and not getting enough sodium into their diet. You'll feel really tired without enough salt. See, I figured out I'm adding fat of any kind gives me shortness of breath. That's histamine, but I'll read that comment later. So I was just fatigued because I was just working really hard in 115-degree weather for 8 hours, my people. Almost 9. No, wait, I was out there at 6:15 in the morning, and I stopped around 4:15. And I was like, it must get done. My driver's coming to get everything. But that's not a smart idea when you're doing a low carb diet, because you're already losing water via the kidneys. And then I'm pushing my limit by being in this heat. And then, like, I'm drinking, and then sometimes I'm not because I'm power washing. And that's when you'll either feel incredibly exhausted or you'll get a pounding headache. Okay. So that's one of the reasons why you guys are tired. You don't put salt. People are so afraid of salt. They're like, but I balloon. But what you don't understand is that if you don't put any salt, you will still swell up, because any sodium that's in your meats, your body will just hold on to it. Like, no, it'll just, I'm not letting go of the salt. And then you just swell up like a balloon. So it's not smart to, just do a little bit of salt, especially during in this weather when we're sweating during the summer. Even in the winter, but especially the summer. And that's a major reason why people are tired. Now, another thing is people are like, why am I tired on carnivore? And like, you're not adapted. Excuse me, I'm like, thank you, Shala. I'm glad you like carnivore, but don't be strict for too long, because you will lose diamine oxidase or N-methyltransferase at some point and start to develop an unbalanced gut. Okay, so I'm beat, but I'm like sharp here. And yeah, I'm sharp here. One of the problems is with people, they do this, they're not adapted, they don't eat enough fat. They're like, but I eat a lot of meat. And I'm like, that's the problem. You can't eat a lot of meat and then be in ketosis. I don't care if you're eating ribeyes. I don't care if you're eating ribeyes. It's, even though they have a lot of fat, you would have to eat a lot of ribeye to then get the amount of fat, to then keto adapt, to avoid the lethargy, the chronic fatigue. So a lot of people are just straight up eating a lot of meat. And the dichotomy of that situation is that you're eating a lot of meat to get to the fat, And then all that protein spikes your blood sugar and cancels out the ability to use ketones or even produce them. So that's why we always do moderate to low protein, contrary to all the gurus not knowing what they're talking about. They think they do. But if you've been around like me, a dinosaur on the internet, consistently talking about ketosis, whether it be carnivore or keto or even on carbs, you're not really adapted, but you do produce ketones. Some people do, like on starches, because you can go 6 hours without eating starch and produce ketones. But the blood sugar goes, and the ketones go on carbs. And how I know this is because I've worked with so many clients who are using a glucometer. In fact, I would request people to use glucometers. Legit. So the other reason is we're getting to like why people are having chronic fatigue on these diets beyond not keto adapting is that their T3 drops. And this happens to so many people. So either your hair will start shedding or your hair won't shed, but you'll just feel incredibly tired. It's not good. That thyroid hormone drops. And then another reason besides the thyroid is the adrenal system. So the problem is a lot of people cannot stabilize their blood sugar. And thus the body goes into the body factory and it starts, what is a good glucose monitor to use? They're all a little off, and you can use different glucometers for different reasons. Now, Mojo is not the best blood glucometer, but I mean for glucose, but it works pretty well for ketones. There's more out there, but it's the most affordable one. And you have to be objective, test a certain way, which is 4 weeks, daily, once a week, all day long. I mean, there's a bunch of ways to test to be able to take this quasi-subjective number and actually be able to read it correctly to your symptoms. So you guys, I have consultations if people feel like they're struggling with all those typical things, the thyroid, adrenals, reproductive hormones, feeling chronic fatigue or insatiable hunger, skin issues, candida, rash, heart palps, histamine, poor sleep, peeing a lot at night, the tinnitus, the friggin' rheumatoid arthritis, osteoarthritis, the fibromyalgia, the friggin', what is it? Fibroids and endometriosis. And there are so many things that you guys have. You don't realize that you have it. Like even down to like the candida explosion in people or the oxalate dumping issue, whatever. So if you guys want to sign up for a consultation, go to stephanieperson.com and I am right there. Okay. Let's get on to it. Blood sugar is the most common reason, which kind of goes back to the I'm not adapted. When you eat too much protein, your body can only break down, chew, swallow all of this in with so much equipment. If you don't have enough hydrochloric acid in your stomach, if you have a dysregulated blood sugar even before you're insulin resistant, or you don't know that you are, or your sleep sucks and you tend to run high or you tend to run low, which is the insulin resistance hypoglycemic rebound effect, then you do keto and you're like, wow, like I lost weight, my numbers are good, but I'm so tired. Why am I still tired all the time and needing coffee? You're not actually adapted and you're not actually catching the blood sugar like you would a continuous glucose monitor. So you're not actually checking when it went from high to then low. You're just seeing these low numbers. You're like, oh, I'm adapted. Not necessarily. And that's why, that's the reason why I do these videos, to try to clarify with you guys so you know how to do it properly. Like, people are like, well, what if I have histamine? And I'm like, well, yeah, you could have histamine, and that's another symptom of chronic fatigue. You're just constant releasing all this histamine. The body doesn't know how to break it down, get rid of it. And then it can make you incredibly tired for your body to be battling the lethargy. Now, there's another thing that people can do a keto or carnivore diet and their immune system drops. And a lot of people's immune system drops because they don't eat enough fat and they're eating too much protein. and they're not doing diaphragmatic breathing or going to bed early, in those days where you're not producing enough ketones, ketone bodies via the liver, your body's immune system just goes. That will create chronic fatigue. Well, not chronic, but fatigue. And if you continue to do carnivore for, we're going on 3 months, 6 months, a year, or keto, then you're finding these people still dealing with chronic fatigue, and they're like, I don't know, I just have one coffee. Just one coffee a day. Like, what's so bad about that? I'm like, oh boy, it's kind of hard to convince people that they're having, they're dysregulated, their homeostatic balance is missing. If you need the coffee, that's dehydrating you, and that's a whole nother subject. But I'm going to take a look at you guys' comments. Shala says, yes, your consultations are the bomb. You helped me years ago. Like up the stream. You guys like up the stream? I'm doing it at a weird random time, so there's not a lot of people here in today's chat, but that's okay. I just came here to just pop on real quick and talk about chronic fatigue in conjunction with the thyroid, or adrenal fatigue, where your adrenals are over, like you're constantly in the fight or flight mode. So you're like, cortisol is going to bring you up, drop you down, the whole insulin resistance, the whole histamine can make you feel chronic fatigue, the drop in T3, and just not sleeping well. So a lot of people, their sleep goes downhill when they do these diets because they were eating carbs before to drop them, like they become hypoglycemic and fall asleep. So sometimes when people are like, ding, I'm so awake on these diets. How do I get sleepy? So that's because you're not having a hypoglycemic effect when you first go to sleep, and then you have one in the middle of the night when you finally get to sleep and you wake up. So for those who are waking up 3 times a night, that's because most likely you're experiencing some kind of hypoglycemia. Legit. It can be your gallbladder or your gallbladder releasing bile if you have one, but 9 times out of 10 it's because they're a little insulin resistant, while they sleep. Can't get the cortisol down. Don't follow for circadian rhythm. Afternoon naps are good for people, time creator, who obviously are chronic fatigue. Like, you have to rest. But I don't need a nap. I've got energy. And if I ever need to nap, which is almost never, I feel like a truck hit me when I wake up. I just feel off the rest of the day. So if you guys get enough sleep and your blood sugar is balanced because you're eating the right macros at the right timing, and you're doing some diaphragmatic breathing to getting that central nervous system to relax, because that's another reason why the blood sugar spikes. You guys just can't get the stress down. Then you don't need naps, or you need naps if you're not getting enough sleep, stuff like that. But I try to check all the boxes so I can stay like young and fabulous at almost 55. So that's around the corner, you guys, almost 55. And I used to be in a sports bra all the time. I still like to show you guys what it's like to be at this age, completely natty, right? Leave it up to Stephanie to drop the friggin' phone. Let me see here. Why does my phone have all those emojis? That is bizarre. Hold on a second. So I did something weird. It's still going. That's bizarre. That is bizarre. Okay, I'll show you guys. I'm seeing a bunch of emojis across my camera, but this is me at 55. And I've been in ketosis. I prefer the keto diet over the carnivore diet for various reasons. Why is my freaking phone doing this? Shite. Now I can't see your guys' comments at all. That was lame. That was lame. See, it's got these things here. I don't know how to exit out. If I turn my camera around. Still doing it. And I cannot see the comments. Let me see. Live, all members messages are visible, but I can't see them. I can't see your comments. Oh, Stephanie. Oh, okay, there they are. They're kind of disappearing. How do I correct the gut imbalance? I still have like a thing of emojis going across. It's so stupid. Okay, there we go. Let's see here. What I've learned about YouTube channel is with coffee. Congratulations. What? I can't read it because this emoji thing's in the way. Oh, this is giving me a headache. And it won't go away, you guys. It literally won't go away. I don't know what will make it go away. Let me see here. Oh, now it's gone. Ah, I figured it out. Never mind. I'm having a senior moment at almost 55. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so what I've learned YouTube channel, which I guess my YouTube channel about coffee. Congratulations, all that knowledge. Okay, thank you so much. And I can't even say that name because it's very complicated. Okay, so Mark is like, how do you deal with the histamine? I mean, obviously you have to rotate your foods. I've done a lot of videos on histamine. You got to rotate your foods. You got to do journaling. You've got to completely do an elimination diet. I don't mean gaps, like a good carnivore. Get rid of the plants, get rid of the coffee, get rid of the cheese, get rid of the nuts, get rid of the dairy, get rid of the butter, get rid of everything, and then you add things back every 3 days. So that's one. Then you rotate once you start figuring out what you have. The eggs, like cinnamon, all these spinach. Spinach is bad anyway. It's a long conversation how to deal with histamine. Get some sleep, go to bed early, do some diaphragmatic breathing, some nam myoho renge kyo. Okay, how do you correct gut imbalances so that you can tolerate foods? Again, I can't eat any fat. My gut's infectious. Okay, so Tori, I would try to go back on to do a LCHF, which is a low carb, high fat protocol until you can correct your gallbladder. And that would be by eating some like jasmine rice, white rice, parsnip, anything that is bleached. Some can do oats, some cannot. You really want nice, like Uncle Ben's, bleach the frack out of the oats to get the plant chemicals, the toxins out. And you go on a starch for a very short amount of time, and then try to do like lemon or apple cider vinegar if you can tolerate it, if you don't have a histamine response. And then also try to get to bed earlier, try to meditate, try to do anything to get the cortisol down, and rotate those foods so the gut wall will finally start to seal up. Let me see. My gut's infectious because me to reaction to any type of fat. I've tried them all. Well, like I said, you should probably go on low carb, high fat for a hot minute. And I don't know if it's gallbladder and histamine. You know, Tori, you might want to go to a local farm and get fresh slaughtered meat and render it like fast, because most likely you're reacting to the bacteria. Now, do you react to olive oil and avocado oil? That's a question I have for you. Do you have a garden? If so, where do you... Okay, Candace doesn't know this, but I'm moving to 10 acres. We did the survey. It's just shy of 10 acres. And so I'm going to call 10. And it's got... I can have like a lot of farm food growing there if I want. So I'm moving this week to my new property. How many hours of sleep? 8. With at least 4 deep sleep REM cycles. Thanks for entering. I will schedule an appointment to discuss further. Yeah, I think when I talk to people, I feel very confident because I've been working. You guys know, people who follow me know I've been working like with over 6,000 people. If you go back to my video catalog, you're like, yeah, legit. She's been working with, you know, thousands of people over the years, and you learn a lot. People are like, oh, what study, what education? Like, yo, you cannot trade real experiences with people and then red threading it and finding out, getting there, being an autodidact and then learning how to figure it out. You can do food tolerance tests, but sometimes those tests they can't really see everything. that you're reactive to, they do the main foods, it's really better, Mark, to just go find out your history, your health history in a conversation first, and your current symptoms. Candace, I think it's Candace, yeah. MNU just found you today. Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad you found me today. Tori says, does the starch help regrow microbes? No, yes, indirectly, because, the fiber could potentially, that can be a prebiotic fiber in some of these starches, like parsnip, for example, to help get the probiotic, the bacteria to repopulate. But just starch on its own, no. No. You gotta repopulate it yourself. You gotta get some type of probiotic in there, but I advise not to do that until you know that your histamine is in check, your sleep is in check, your circadian rhythms in check, your cortisol is in check, your thyroid's in check before you start messing with that. Time creator, you were waking up with this stuffy nose because of allergies, probably from a weak gut. Histamine. I do not recommend kimchi, and people react pretty bad on kimchi, so I would keep away from kimchi and find a very low culture count and strains of bacteria. Like Mega Food is one company that have like a, baby step your way up to higher doses of bacteria and strains. Grow some cruciferous vegetables, which are fibrous: broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, asparagus. Those are cruciferous. When you get there and do a gardening video, I will, honey. There's like hillbilly who's picking. He's my driver. He's like, I'm gonna show you how to do some collard greens. Well, that's black. Collard greens and mustard greens, because they grow almost all year long. I was like, let's do it. Let's do it. Shala says her knowledge is awesome. She has been keto for 15 years. Can you guys believe that? 15 solid years. You guys can go back to my video catalog. I used to wear a sports bra all the time. I still show people that I'm still got the business, honey. Girlfriend still got the body business going on, but you can actually just see it in my face how much I looked distressed in my face years ago. If you go back to video catalogs, I look kind of busted. Oh, it's a wee bit. Let me see. Every time I eat fatty anything, hydrogen sulfide producing bacteria goes nuts and I react. You're in a quagmire. You have to start off with low doses of things that give you this gassy reaction. You just have to start off with even if it's a half teaspoon, and then, 3 days later it's a whole teaspoon, and then it's a tablespoon, and do it very slowly, and eat foods high in diamine oxidase like intestine or kidney, and definitely thymus if you can get it fresh, because those will help your histamine reactions, creating thus the bloat. So what has improved since the beginning of your keto journey? Oh, everything. My skin. Like, my skin was really distressed. I had a video where I was telling people, like, I don't know why, but when I was, like, super lean and I was younger, I started to develop the wrinkles. Sorry, I don't have a lot of cleavage. You have to push it up, but you can see here that I don't have the wrinkles. They're completely gone, and they were forming. People think that white people think that black people don't get wrinkles. Yes, they do. I was getting wrinkles right there, so that's improved. I had really dark under both eyes, right? Sometimes I get a little lymphatic swelling on this side, and then like nothing on this side. But yeah, I was dark and baggy under both eyes. I know that because I would always film from above, and now I'm filming from below. Oh, that's a clear sign, right? I always was filming up here to the point where people are like, why are you always filming from above? And I'm like, because I look busted. That's why. I'm broken down freaking gremlin. Oh yeah, you can go back to my video catalog. You can see that, I am aging. I am, but at the same time, there's this weird kind of balancing thing. So what I've aged in is like normal aging. I mean, you're going to only have so much collagen, right? But like I've held on to it. Your gravity's gonna pull things down. I mean, luckily my small boobs are just still nice and perky. Hmm. But yes, I have not had kids, but I also lift, and I've also built the pectoral muscles. So you can't see with this light. I used to always do chest a lot. I had a nice little pec deck going on. I don't know if you can see it. See, you can't see it. I don't care. Whatever. Do you agree vegetables are toxic to eat? No. Yes, no. It's the time, the season, the amount, and the type according to your issues. I don't have a histamine reaction to cruciferous vegetables, so I'm able to eat cruciferous vegetables and get a nice supply of potassium and vitamin E and fiber for my gut. So, and vitamin C. So, and some of the B's in the B complex. So you guys, you got to realize that plants aren't bad. It's you're getting like genetically modified. You have weak gut wall. If you have a strong gut wall, and you don't have a Frankenstein, something that's growing wild, and you're eating it in season, it's great. They have a lot of nutrition in them. And if you have too much of them and they're genetically modified and your gut's jacked up, then they're awful. Everything's a matter of context. Thank you, Jax. I feel good about the way I look. I can talk about it with all pride because I've worked super hard, and I don't think people should feel embarrassed to talk about their successes in life. Can you do what you eat in a day? Yes, when I move. I cannot do it now. You guys, I was packing for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours outside, and we're having the hottest day of the year in Texas, so I need to drink water. I wanted to do a quick live because the guys at the shop were like, we turned on everything for you, the air's on, nobody's there, you have privacy, just go to the shop and do a live. So here I am, when really I should be resting because I think it's almost 8 o'clock. It's 7:18. Energy, Barrett's like, energy. Yeah, I love those. Yeah. It's not okay to eat fruit for energy because you will pop out of ketosis and you feel like crap and you won't have any energy. You got to pick a side. The only fruit that you can eat are things like lemon, citrus, that type of lemon, lime, maybe coconut meat from time to time, olives, sometimes the tomato meat, and avocado. But if you're doing sweet fruits that are genetically, completely modified to produce too much fructose, then you might as well just eat carbs. Then just forget doing keto or carnivore. And don't listen to these idiots telling you that eating fruit is carnivore. They can call it whatever they want. They have every right, but they're confusing people. I'm always tired on carnivore. Yeah. And that's because you're not in ketosis. Your fat's probably not high enough and you're doing the gobs of protein, I'm guessing, because all the gurus tell you to do that, and then they'll lie and say, I feel so great. No, they don't. And you can see on people's health that they don't feel great. Look at them. And I don't mean these young ones like they're in their 20s. Like, look at the older ones. Look at the older ones. Thank you, Laura. She's like, you love my old videos. I hate them. I cannot look at them. I look at them and go, oh, Lord, have mercy. I'm like, energy, energy, energy. But as you guys can see, I do have energy, even though I was outside working my ass off and I went to the gym for hours and hours and hours. Started at 6 in the morning. My energy is lit. I'm just physically beat from doing too much, and it's hot and gross outside. It's intermittent fasting is garbage. And Michelle, they're just lying. Just intermittent fast when you sleep. That's the best way to do it. Some of the older raw vegans look like Skeletor. Most. Michelle has no fasting. Like some of them, have you seen all of the vegan deterioration? That girl, I forgot what her name was. Shar Jackson. She did the whole series of all of that. If you're dieting on carnivore, you really, 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 really need to go and assess how much protein you're eating, how much sleep you're getting, and how much fat you're eating. Make sure your electrolytes are on point, because if you don't have enough sodium, you will feel tired. All right, guys, I've been doing this, and what is it? Almost for 30 minutes straight. Do you drink a lot of water? I drink the amount that you should. So on a day like today, I probably drank a full gallon because I was outside. I was like dripping sweat, like dripping legit. So otherwise, 2 to 3 would be fine if I wasn't dripping sweat with salt in the water, like now. So you guys, I just wanted to do a quick live. Don't forget to like up the stream. Helps bring people find me in this algorithm, because people don't find me, they get like kicked off of being like one of the followers, subscribers, sorry, to my channel. Salt and potassium in water. No. Well, unless you can't have an avocado, then don't put potassium powder in water. If you can eat avocado, then eat avocado. If you can't, then you can do the potassium citrate. Thank you for providing this information. Appreciate it. Thank you, Mark. Leon. Thank you. Okay, guys, it's time for me to get out of here. I'm feeling the clock go tick, 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 tick. And love your property. So proud of you. Thank you, Shala. Yeah, y'all, what I have done to get to my own land while not having a home. I mean, just my RV, but not my own place, with now 2 horses and a donkey, and not knowing anybody in this town, and trying to run a business on the worst internet and Wi-Fi I've ever seen in my life. Cambodia had better cell phone connection. It makes you appreciate the small things. And I talked to my electrician, who said that the power is on at my new place. He's like, your power is up? I was like, yes! He's like, man, why did you get horses? And I said, he's like, they're a lot of work. And I go, that's what I wanted. I wanted to be outside. I thought that living in Hollywood, California, and riding my bike to the gym was being outside. I felt so disconnected to nature, hence, or thus, being disconnected to myself, that I don't care. Thank you, Shella. Thank you so much for the donation. I really, really appreciate it. That will go into the horse, the fur baby husband and children piggy bank. No, I don't wear a lot. In fact, I wear no sunscreen on my body, only on my face, because I went through this lovely bout of melasma going on 5 years ago. And so if sun is directly just pounding on my face, it'll start hyperpigmenting, and we don't want that. So that's why. But yeah, the horse, so he's like, I was like, the horse thing, I'm like, I don't care that's what I want, is a lot of work. He's like, I get it. I'm like, I can continue doing live streams and sitting on my ass and being inside and working on my computer, or I can do something that forces me to be outside constantly. I could skateboard, but that's just a little snapshot of time. I want to be able to wake up when the sun rises. You have melasma too, so I know it sucks. But I did get rid of it, most of it. Some of it's still left over. But people say, you can't get rid of it. Yes, you can. You just got to be like Super Steph, and you'll figure out everything. Oh, you too. Interesting. Yeah, I do think that not having enough magnesium, which is connected to your hormones, played a role in me developing this melasma, on top of using the infrared light on my face and really bringing it out faster than it normally would have had I not used that stupid thing on my face, which completely makes melasma go poof. All right, guys, time for this girl to go and eat a delicious dinner, and then go to bed early, because in the morning, 5 or 6, I will be finishing up my packing, and I'll be done. Because the last couple days, I don't want to pack. I just want to relax. How many times a day should I eat if I'm trying to lose weight? It's not about the times that you eat, Michelle. It's about your hormones. The amount of food in a human reasonable amount has nothing to do with the gaining weight or losing weight. You're having, like, if you booked a consultation, I could figure out, is there a thyroid problem? Is there a leptin issue? Is there a blood sugar issue? Is there an insulin issue? Is there a sleep issue? Is there a cortisol issue? But without you know, if you have a sleep problem, if you don't sleep days in and out, you become insulin resistant that night. You're not sleeping, and you'll just, I don't care how much cardio you're doing, you're not going to lose weight. So when I talk to people, that's how I find out. You go to my website, which is stephanieperson.com. When I get home, I can put it in the show notes below. But if you click on one of my other videos, there's links to my website, which is stephanieperson.com. Then in that way, I can actually talk to you. I do sort of like, you know, a live video like this. And I'm pretty darn good at what I do, because I have my clients come back to me saying, like Shala, saying that, you know, I've helped her, and, you know, all those feel-good moments that you work so hard to teach people, and not make a bazillion dollars selling a bunch of dumb products. Although I will get to affiliate programs. One is going to be Let's Get Checked. The other one is going to be the continuous glucose monitor, because that's not food, and I'm not promoting keto, garbage cookies, and BHB salts, and a bunch of stuff that I think is disgusting and that ruins your body. It can be advantageous because I need to provide shelter and a bunch of stuff for my fur babies. I also have a donation on my site if you guys want to go and donate anything to my, like $1 or whatever, more than that, to the website, you can. I got to get my web guy. Somebody told me to do like a thing on YouTube. I got to go. I've just had no time, and I'm just like, I need to figure it out. Shala says she really cares. Thank you. I actually do. I mean, I come across as a little bit obnoxious in live streams, and that's just because I'm talking to my phone, and it's just weird. I remember the first video I did, I was like, this is so weird. I'm like talking to my iPad at the time that was not, it had no, whatchamacallit, I forget, because I'm just distracted by getting home and feeding my horses. It was like super pixelated. They were garbage, but, you know, I did them anyway. Yeah, they're definitely dinosaur videos. But I do care. That's the point. You know, I care because I've been steered wrong. It's the same thing. Like, I want to teach people how to leave the city and go live in a rural area, and how you can still be fabulous. I'm still the Hollywood girl, but I'm also now the country girl. And I want to encourage people to live a healthy, independent life of not being told how to live your life by those people up there. And I want to inspire people. Like, I've done a whole video series on renovating a truck that was an absolutely disgusting beater truck, and I just haven't had time to edit the video because it's so much footage. And thanks, Barrett. And then I also have Thunder's journey, my horse, from California to Texas. Then I'm going to film the journey from Texas to Tennessee, and then also everything that I do on my land. I am a city girl. I'm from Hollywood. So to go and learn how to be human again was everything. It was the game changer of my life. So when people are like, you don't have kids, and like, it's not so easy to quit your job, I'm just like, be quiet, shush your mouth. That's the reason why you're stuck, because you think that way. I don't care if I had 20 kids, I would still make it happen. I would go and look at my ancestors and my mama and dig deep on how, like, my grandmother who raised 10 children, okay, and still had food on the table. Like, I don't want to hear it, people. Okay, we live in the modern time. Everything's easy now. So it says, yes, talk the talk and walks the talk. So I just want to show you guys, and I'm going to do more lifestyle videos, as well as what I eat in a day, and what I build in a day, and how I train my horses in a day, and how I exercise in a day, and how this black girl in the South, in that part, it's very, very light, as in white. And I mean, they've got black people. It's the next town, which is 15 minutes away. But you know how, like, I did a rant video, and how my driver's like, yeah, you could just grab a couple chigas and build a septic tank, and it's with an N. There's not a cha. There's a nut. And I started laughing because he doesn't know that I'm this. But when he meets, my driver already loves me. He's like, oh, you know, I can come up, Steph, and he's from Alabama. He's like, I'll come up and help you build stuff there because you need some help, you know. And then when he sees me, he's going to be like, oh, snap. But then he's going to like, oh, Oh, snap. I can't wait. Me too. It's time. I'm just so tired of living on other people's property. I did a rant video. I put it on private because I was talking about, you know, I was talking about the situations that I'm in, and I don't, right at this juncture, I don't need it to get back to them because, I don't. Yeah. I'm grateful for everything that I've had and have had or done for me, and I'm not grateful for the other places I stayed where it was just absolutely a freaking nightmare. So I'm leaving on a good note on this last place. So it's really cool. Thank you everyone for joining this chat. I was only going to do 30 minutes, 40 minutes. Don't forget to like up the stream. You do it in the chat box. Just click on it and you get out and you click on the thumbs and excuse me, lots of talking. It helps people find my channel because I've been like shadow banned because for years I didn't put ads on my videos, and I forget to put ads on my videos. Like if you don't get on it to put ads on your videos, they will shadow ban you in seconds. Plus me talking about Sharada Rona Bona. Probably not the smartest thing to talk about that thing that people are doing. But I still want to educate you guys. I've had to tell people in my consultations, I'm like, do you know a little bit more details about that thing? Right, the sword that gets stuck in you. And they don't really know. They really believe what they hear on the TV. Like, they just believe it. They're like, no. And then, like, people get upset with me because I don't believe it. They literally have a stage 5 meltdown. I got some energy. Jeesh. All right, guys. I'm almost 55. I've been in ketosis for 15 years and counting. No cheating, not even once. I feel amazing. And right now I need to drink some water or I will have a bad headache and not be amazing at all. I'll be like crap. Thank you everyone for coming to my channel and taking a look. Comment below. Let me know what you want me more to talk about, what you need help with. Also, hit the notification bell that says all. My Instagram is Stephanie Ketogenic. My Facebook is Stephanie the business person, as in the body business. They named me, I didn't, but I'll take it. And I am officially out of here because I got to relax and do some stuff. Hi, Jeanette. I'm leaving now, but thank you. Thank you, Charlotte. Thank you so much. She's such a sweetheart. Thank you so much for your constant and consistent support. And mic drop. Barrett's like, mic drop, boom. Except when you do mic drop like that, you don't go, oh, what did I do? All right, guys. Thank you. And I'll be back. I think tomorrow I'm not going to do a live, but I have a video that I uploaded on a special food that I ate that I think you guys should eat too. And I already edited it. Can I speak? And I will upload it tomorrow. So stay tuned. Peace, guys. And thank you, Shala, for the donation to the super chat. It goes all to the fur babies. Bye, guys. And I'm out. Peace.